Oh, okay. So have everybody had fun last night in Vegas? I hope everybody had a good time. Okay, so today is the day 3 of the conference. So we're going to talk about the future. So we're talking about the current, the past, now we're talking about the future. So at the beginning, I'm going to introduce myself. Why I'm here talking about the blockchain. So I am the CEO of SleekFin, and my background, you can see there, if everybody knows what's AIA, I'm a licensed architect. So I know about the construction, design, part of the real estate, and also I'm a licensed mortgage broker. And so I know the money part of the real estate. And on top of that, I'm a businesswoman, and I did my MBA in Berkeley Haas several years ago. Then personally, I'm a developer myself. So from start with a single family, multi-family house, and goes to hotel project. But right now, I mainly work on data centers, and data centers for crypto mining. So that's what I have been doing. So if any of you have an industry property with a lot of power, come talk to me. I'm still looking for sites, okay? Then I'm a real estate investor myself, and I also invested some money in crypto. That's a very different investment. It's opposite of the real estate, and the real estate is probably the very stable investment, and the crypto, on the other hand, is not. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have several companies under my belt. From a design firm to a development company, and to recently, I started this fintech company with my classmate, Vanky, which he was a classmate with me in my MBA program. And so that was great. So let's talk about what technology can help us in the future. So the thing we can use for real estate, and we're going to talk about, is NFT, DeFi, crypto, and that go with the whole globalization of the real estate. And before all of that, I added these slides just to introduce a couple of concepts about blockchain technology for everybody else who's not very much into this field. So we're talking about crypto first. Does anyone know what all those symbols are about? Anyone here? You do? No? No, okay. So, well, I was going to give out a prize for that. All of them. One, two, I think that's 6 of them. No, that's not the Coinbase. What's that? There are 3 harder ones.
Yeah, I can't get those other 3. I don't know.
Huh? Algorand, the top one. The one looks like a C. That's a seller. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Cardano. So that's all the symbols. So most coins has a function, but Dogecoin, I don't know if anybody knows about the Dogecoin. It started as a joke. People made that coin just to make fun of crypto itself. Then Elon Musk took it to a high level. He actually endorsed Dogecoin on his Twitter, and that coin went up dramatically in price. I think, my personal opinion, I love Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy, but that is his scam, and I don't really think there's some real function of that coin. And also, big disappointment is his Cybertruck, and I was hoping to have one, but unfortunately, it got deleted. Okay, so then we're talking. So the crypto market, the top 5 cryptocurrency, and to be surprised, 2 of them are stable coins. So we have a Bitcoin, which is about above $800 billion market cap, and then secondary is Ethereum, have about $300 billion market cap, and then it go down to the stable coin, which is the Tether, the USTD, the stable coin with a T. That one is about $82 billion cap, and that's something really get used on the chain to perform payment, which this coin is tied to US dollar. So one coin equal to about $1. And so that is a great tool to pay someone business transaction and throughout the globe, and in a stable sense of money. And so then the 4th one is BNB, is Binance's coin, and the 5th one is the blue one behind USTD, that is USTC. That's about 52 billion of market cap. Then the 6th one is a very interesting coin, is Solana, and that is so far probably the coin I personally think will be the future of the crypto transaction. Solana can handle 65,000 transactions per second, and also at a fraction of the cost of a Visa. So Visa charges you about 1.3% plus a quarter dollar, 25 cents on top of that, to something even more, to 2.7% of a transaction. That's how much Visa charges you on their network. But on the Solana network, every single transaction costs $0.00025, which is a fraction of a cent. That's how cheap it is to use crypto to perform payments. So for all those reasons, you can see in the future, and this will take over the current financial system, perform payment, thinking about how SWIFT and ACH will be replaced by crypto in the future. So then stablecoin have another set of stablecoin connected with the price of gold. Now we're not going to get into that. So that the 3 symbols are USTC, USDT, and USDC and DAI. And then we're talking about the NFT. So NFT is something really hot recently, if you ever been to the crypto world. And right now, there's a huge hype about the NFT. So what is NFT? So NFT is a non-fungible token. What does NFT do? NFT works like your DNA. Basically, you can think about that. It gave an object a unique identity. How much does an NFT worth? in my opinion, nothing. It's actually just a tool to identify the value of the actual object behind it. But it's a very, very important tool that we can use in the real estate transaction, because every single property is a unique object. And we can use that particular technology to identify each single piece of real estate. Then we're talking about the DeFi. That's another hot topic. So decentralized finance. What is that? It's basically same as the regular lending, but it's performed on blockchain. So think about the crowdfunding, and think about crowdfunding with a smart contract, and that contract will get delivered automatically without a third person to involve to go after to get your money back. So that's the system can be right on blockchain. So that is actually very, very hot topic now. And there are so many coins recently minted to performance decentralized finance. So that will be the future of lending, and that can be utilized in the real estate world in the future, okay? Then we're talking about the blockchain. So blockchain is the back-end technology of all those things. So it's basically something very simple, just a whole bunch of a block, and each single block have some data right inside, and they kind of link to each other into a chain. So instead of one place to verify information, you have to go to many places to verify the information. So that make it secure and make it fast, and nowadays nobody can really shut it down. So make it transparent, because it's actually pretty open in the system. If you can set it open and it's for people to verify and check. So why blockchain? So blockchain can provide a secured transaction and reduce compliance cost and speed up data transfer process. So that's the three things that the blockchain can help. Like the real business transaction. And people ask the question, is blockchain really secure? I heard a story about things that get hacked. Well, things get hacked. Your bank account can be hacked, and the blockchain is way secure than your money in your bank account. And anything can be hacked, but blockchain leaves a trace. Anything can be traceable on the blockchain. The hard part is to trace that chain to a real person. That is the hard part of a blockchain, to trace down to say where's the criminal. But on the chain, everything is traceable and everything is documented. It's actually much secure, much transparent, much safer, and than actually a cash transaction. Efficiency. On blockchain, we can write a smart contract. And a smart contract is something can be executed automatically. And so you don't have to have a person to go after the debt, because once the leverage drops to a certain level, and it will be automatically cashed out. So I give an example. So definance a lot of people on the chain to use their Bitcoin or other asset to borrow money against their coins, because they do not want to sell them. So for example, they put on a chain to say, I want to pay 20% of interest, borrow against my Bitcoin. And normally you get maybe 1 to 2 leverage, so if your Bitcoin is worth $1 million now, and you can probably borrow $500,000 against it. And then there will be a lot of people on the chain to say, okay, I think I can lend money to you, and I make the 20% interest. Then you write down a smart contract on that. The Bitcoin price goes up and down. And at some point, the Bitcoin price dropped to half, and you don't have enough leverage. And unless you keep buying Bitcoin and put into the contract, otherwise they're just going to automatically sell all your Bitcoin and pay back your investor, pay back your lender. So for people who lend money on the chain, it's pretty safe, pretty secure. It's almost like a guarantee, not a guarantee unless the whole blockchain break down or some regulation against it. But it's a very safe investment in the DeFi world, because the smart contract will get executed automatically, and you don't have to go after it. It protects your investment without a human factor. Then transparency, and you can timestamp everything and on the blockchain. So everything is timestamped and trackable, and for each single transfer transaction and everything else. Then we're talking about where can blockchain be adapted. So first, we can use it in purchase negotiation. So thinking about you are negotiating with your buyer of a house. Your buyer said, I would like to, they put in an offer. You list for $1 million. The buyer said, I'm going to offer you $900K. And, but I also would like to have the refrigerator. And you send something back to say, no, I will take $950K, and you don't get the refrigerator. And at the end, this negotiation can be all right on the blockchain. At the end, you can generate a document to say what you agreed on. For example, you agreed on $960K and give that guy the refrigerator, and that will be right on the chain. And that cannot be changed. That will be time-stamped. You can check who's agreed on what time. And it's kind of like the DocuSign in the way, and that is right on the chain, and it can be automatically generated and put into part of your deal. So, and that cannot be changed. And so it's not like a real document, that's potentially you can scratch it off and write down something else. So then loan document. Loan document is another thing. It's a simple transaction that information can all be right on the chain. Like you said, you have so much income, and I'm going to offer you 4% interest rate. And 2 days later, if I change my mind to say, I think you are too risky, you're going to be 4.5, and that's not going to work. So for both buyer and the lender, so that will be some very, very transparent information can be right on the chain during the loan process. So everything is stamped, and everything is open and transparent. Then title verification and co-ownership. So this part, in my opinion, is the most valuable part of a blockchain application on in real estate. Thinking about each single property, and every single property is a unique object. And you have a different title. It's talking about what this property like. And with that, we can use the NFT to generate a unique title for each single property. And right now, we can digitize all the title report there. Then if that is going to happen, you would not need to buy title insurance anymore, because those are verified information already. And it's not just verified by one title company, it's verified through different blocks. So nobody can really cheat on you unless they can collect all the blocks on the chain and modify the information, even though, and those records will be there openly for everybody to check. And the co-ownership, that is what we have been talking about, the crowdfunding of real estate investment. So that the percentage of real estate ownership can be tokenized into as many parts as we wish to. And we can sell the tokens for many people for ownership, especially for commercial real estate. And or even for residential. So the tokenized ownership can be transferred through will or through to your ancestors. So in that way, we can save a lot of legal problem, legal cost. So and then you can keep owning the property without having to sell it. If you're going through a divorce or going through a change of ownership reason. Then in commercial real estate, we can use the smart contract to write down rents, how rents are going to transfer into dividend, and how that is going to be automatically paid out. So that is going to save a lot of manpower there to execute that. On blockchain, it can automatically execute all those payments through the smart contract. And whatever on the original contract you agreed on, and it will be automatically executed, so that gives the investors a lot more confidence of what they're going to get for payout. Then the last part we're talking about is global investment. So that is a very, very interesting topic, and I'm always very, very interested in. 2009, I spent several months in South America, just just to experience life. That was not a particular reason. So I remember I was in Brazil. I found someone to bring me into the favela, because I look at the favelas on the hill from the beach. I'm like, what's that world gonna look like? So I finally found a guy who willing to take me into favela to experience it. It's a very, very different world from the real, like down the hill. So people are really poor there. Let's say they don't have running water, they don't have sewage, they don't have electricity, and they don't have people pick up trash. It's a really sad place for humans to live there. But everybody in favela, the kids I talked to there, they all have a dream. Their dream is to get out of the favela and live down the hill. And they're talking about, I can, when I grow up, I can buy with my brother, sister, cousins, someplace we can live down the hill. And because they cannot afford a property on their own, but maybe take a whole family, take a whole extended family to afford something after the poverty. And that cannot be done at a current, in the current world, because to get a mortgage and everything, they need to verify your job, your income, your background, and everything. But once we tokenize the real estate, and those people can really put together money to buy a piece of real estate, and without having to go through the current banking system, because nobody will sell something to them. And so that is what can happen to help the disadvantaged group of people around the world. And I took a trip to Venezuela, and to be surprised, and people in Venezuela loves America. They love America. They always wanted to go to America to say, they asked me what America look like, and if they have opportunity to own a piece of property in America as a family, they would. They love America. They love the security of what the law can bring to the society, because in a lot of those countries, there's no sense of security. You can buy something and the next day it can be taken away by the government, by the drug dealer, by somebody else. So there's no sense of security of ownership. And that can change by using blockchain for those people to invest something they feel like can bring to their future in America. And next thing is ideas are nothing, execution is everything. So we talk about the ideas and a lot. So how are we going to move forward with it? So this is what a sleek thing about. So it's an integrated marketplace for real estate. So how does it work? So we basically made 3 products. One app for the end user to buy real estate, and a website for the agent or developer to lease their property, and another website for lenders go onto the site to filter out the borrower they want and to potentially fund their customer to lend the money to. So it's a 3 part of a system. And what it do is when a user uses a smartphone, then they can go up there to looking for properties. It's a little bit like you shop property on Redfin or Zillow, you look at it. But the difference is you can put in an offer. You can write you can write something directly, and that get documented on the blockchain, and to say, I would like to buy it at this price. And that get pushed to the agent or the developer to say, okay, we're going to have somebody would like to buy this piece of property at this price. Do I willing to sell it? Or there's a really great property and there's several buyers bid on it. That can be acting like an auction too. And so people put in offer after offer to say where's your highest offer you can get to sell that property. And once those offer in, it creates a block. And those blocks get distributed around the chain. And to have that information, like talk to their friends, their neighbors, and distribute the information there to say, hey, now I have an offer like this. And then the neighbors, the friends of that block will verify the information and to say, okay, we all know that you can actually receive the offer like this. We all remember it. We can be your, we can support you on this. So it gets verified. Then this negotiation, this information get added to the chain and it stay there. So that block get added. So that's how your negotiation and get added onto the blockchain, and that can be created in this app. And then you say, okay, we agreed on buy this property for $500K. Then what are we going to do? I need a mortgage. Then you go to the lender, you put your information in. So basically, the information you put in to buy a property is almost the same information you put in to get a mortgage. And in the current system, you have to do the paperwork twice, which is unfortunate. You could save that time, just push your information to the lender at the same time. And then you negotiate with the lender about your mortgage rate, your down payment, and everything else, and all the information will go through the same process and right on the chain, and that can be verified in the future days. And once that get verified, and then you have money, you can go through a transaction. And in current days, that transaction have to go through a title company in America and have an escrow company to support it. But in most part of the world, a title company and escrow company, they do not exist. So what the people do is they actually put the down payment directly. The buyer just send the down payment directly to the seller, and that's in the real estate transaction. That's what the people haven't been done for most part of the world, and that create a problem. Is what if the seller just run away with your money and not give you a title, or the title is not clear, and you don't know, and you are taking a risk of that. So on the blockchain, and that money can be written down into a smart contract that can have a condition of how the money going to you, and when all the conditions be met. So then you don't have the problem of the seller running away with your money. So that can be managed on the chain. And the title can be recorded on the chain. So you know that you actually own this property now, and everybody else in the world knows. And so you're going through the exactly same process: create a block, distribute the block, and verify the block, and add the block to the chain with the information of a title transfer and the escrow process. And then the transaction is closed. So we can do everything in one app, in one location, and you don't need a fax machine, you don't need, a pile of paper, and you just need your smartphone to buy a property, and that is what you should have been doing. And the fax, oh my God, I don't remember what is that. That's like so old, yeah. So this is our team. So that's me. And you can add me on LinkedIn. It's very simple, just my name. And that's my co-founder, Venki. Venki is in India now, and he's prepared for the launch. And that is our Indian director. So we are planning to launch our product in India first. Why Indian? Because India have a very big real estate market, and it's a free country. It's a free country, and so there are laws there, there are process there, and it's a free market. It's not controlled by the government, which is great for this app to start there. And there's less regulation. We can have 3 things all in one app, which in US so far is not really allowed. They consider it as a conflict of interest. But our vision is have everything all together in one place for the buyer. And hopefully in the near future, the regulation can change, and we will be able to bring this product into the US market. But this product is also tailored for people here who want to invest in overseas properties, because we are planning to launch it after India to Southeast Asia, to South America, and to other countries that they have needs over this app and for real estate transaction. And there's a huge Indian community in US already, and everybody probably owns a house or want to sell a house, buy a house back in their country. So that can be a great product for them to buy and selling properties in their home country. And you can also list your property to get attraction from a buyer overseas, which we kind of miss out over the buyers overseas, especially the people cannot buy $1 million house in cash because they don't have credit, they cannot get a mortgage in US. So that is our vision, and thank you very much. And you can also download the app, just try it out. And this is still beta version, and we're going to improve it soon. And also, it's the email, you can get a hold of us. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Do you think there's potential that this creates a high-frequency trading market, and so that it's almost like trading bonds, and that's positive or negative?
Well, I don't see there's anything wrong of trading real estate more frequent than what we have now, because money makes money, and and if you lock the money in the real estate, like for a lot of people, they invest in stock market instead of real estate because the real estate is less liquid. Yeah, so that is actually a good thing. So you can compete with the stock market, you can compete with other things, and because right now, 10% of that warehouse become, you can liquidate it when you need it. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks. And I guess another question, follow up. How do you think about transaction costs? Because and the difference between the volatilities between real estate and the cryptocurrency that you're using. So say you sell property, then you have it in a coin. That coin, you took something that was very low volatile and now put it in something very high volatile. So, do you?
Okay.
I know there's forward contracts and stuff like. How would you solve for that?
So I don't say it become volatile because cryptocurrency is different than blockchain itself. Blockchain is just the technology behind it. You can use a stable coin, which I talked about earlier, like a USTD, for example. The most traded crypto that is tied into US dollar. Mm-hmm. So if you sell a house for $1 million, then you get $1 million USTD to buy the house. Then you can change the $1 million USTD into US dollar that you can use. And so it will not, the price of a Bitcoin will not impact your transaction because your transaction is still tied into US dollar. Yeah. It's still tied into, the real money. We think they are real, but they are not really real. They are actually digital numbers in your bank account, but we think they are real. So it's tied back to the real money in the sense.
Thanks. Thank you.
Is that what it is? I think I'm loud enough.
No, USTD is not an NFT. USTD is a cryptocurrency. USTD being used as a currency for transaction to just like a US dollar, you use it to exchange things. And the NFT is tied up think about NFT as a title of your real estate. That's an NFT. So they function differently. So there are so many coins on the exchange now. If you just open Coinbase, you're like, whoa, what are all those things? And most of them has a function, like a Doge, not really, I don't believe it has a function, but most coins has a function. People write a white paper, they think to do something. They have a coin for finance, they have coin for NFT, and they have coins for the game. So there's a big thing about the GameFi is people to build that for the games. So that's another big part of crypto. So that NFT and USTD is two separate coins, and they function differently. They do different things. Oh yeah, they all on the blockchain. They all write on the blockchain, but what they do is they just use it for different function. For example, you can create an NFT for your real estate. For example, the real estate worth 100K now, and so that NFT worth 100. That tied up the value of your real estate. And 10 years later, it was $1 million. and then that NFT will worth $1 million. So you can sell the NFT to transfer the title of this real estate this property to somebody else, and then that's your transaction. So then that will be right on the chain to say this title being transferred from you to me, and then the next buyer can verify it to say that's the history of it.
Unfortunately, we are over time, we're out of time, but I definitely encourage everyone to connect and network with this, especially when you talk about this new currency. There's so much information, and I'm glad that you are our local resident expert on it. Thank you again for your talk. That was fantastic. One more round of applause for our speaker.
Thank you everyone.